Good evening. Welcome to Letters from the Light Side, and it's the 13th of April 2017. I hope that you've had a lovely day, or maybe you're just waking up, who knows. But I'm hoping to bring messages from the guides and inspirers who are around us, from the energy beings, so that we can have a little bit of a handle about what's in the coming week. For those who don't know, my name's Annie Conboy, and I'm an intuitive counsellor, mentor, medium, psychic. And I've worked to channel energy beings for the last 10 years. Well, what a week. There we go. Full moon, Venus retrograde, all sorts of energy going on, all sorts of things happening at the moment to help us to navigate some change. I've got my orange on because we need a bit of upliftment. Things are still very energetically bouncy, I suppose is the thing that you could say most about the energies that we've been in. And I'm rather struck by what we were told last week about the response to war and aggression is not war and aggression. I've certainly noticed that there is a lot of fear energy that's around. I've certainly noticed that the unsettled feeling is there with people. And for anybody who's energy sensitive, you might have found it quite hard to handle the last few days. The movement forward is in ourselves. I've been asked today several interesting questions, really, that my guides have kind of referred me back to. Questions about why is there this inequality, why do bad things happen, and why are we in pain, why are we allowed to be in pain, what do we gain from pain, also about the afterlife. You know, if it's so good, why are we bothering coming here if we don't need to? And I think that's a really difficult one to wrap your head around. I do feel it's hard to see and witness the pain and despair of others, to see and witness the way in which things become aggressive, and wonder why, and why can't we be in peace with one another? How do we live this? How do we kind of deal with it? And certainly I've got ArchAngels here at the moment. And I've got Archangel Gabriel wanting to talk about enlightenment, wanting to talk about the way in which we bring in the light and we become the light by noticing the absence of the light, being in the dark, recognising our own light, that the pain that people experience is sometimes countered by the enormous flow of love that is also generated. And Gabriel's often come to me and talked about being here to experience the absence of love, because love on this planet is very conditional, and it's a hard place to be in, to feel that there's a lack of love around you, to feel that there isn't anybody in your corner, to lose the loved ones who were the mainstay of the love that you got. I'm thinking here of a discussion about my parents when they passed in their time. That sense of being abandoned that came upon me, and orphaned, that calls to me when I think of the children in the middle of the war zones, in the middle of aggression, and that their experience may be of a love so restricted that there is a complete absence of love. So how do we deal with that? How do we change that? And that's what the coming week is about. I mean, it happens to be a Christian celebration of Easter. I'm not a particular religious person, but there is something in that message of rebirth and starting to understand that the spirit is an internal being. The spirit continues to exist, and being willing to explore that about ourselves. I'm sorry, I don't know why, but I've got that song from Titanic, and all I can hear is here, there, it da 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 da, and I know that my love will go on. So I can't even tell you all the words. Somebody's not giving me the right cues this evening, but I'm sharing it with you because I can hear it playing in the background. Love goes on beyond this particular clay overcoat that I'm wearing. Love continues because I'm an eternal spirit. But that's hard to believe in. It's hard to believe in when you look around the world and you see all that maybe feels like the wrongness of it. And I understand that, and I feel like the inspirers understand that, and Gabriel's very gently reminding me to say that life continues, to help us understand that what is happening in this moment is not the be-all and end-all. And the coming week is about recognising the moment isn't the only moment. It isn't the only time or the only point. We go on in spirit, if nothing else. We continue. And in fact, some of us like to come back here. Not me. I'm reluctantly back here, and I don't mind admitting that to anybody. However, I know why I'm back here, and I'm back here to encourage people like me to start that exploration, to start to think about, well, what is the meaning of all of this, and what do I do? Because what we do is we continue to say, not in my name. We continue to speak out against the acts of aggression that we encounter. We need to speak out. We need to be vocal. We need to say there is not an issue of race, creed, gender, sexuality. They are not real. They are arbitrary divisions that we've dreamed up so that we don't have to deal with our own lack of love, with our inner fear. There is no issue. If we didn't have skin, nobody'd know. Nobody'd know the difference because we're all underneath the same. And part of what we are here to give is that message loud and strong. Things can't change. We can't stop things happening if we aren't giving voice to that, if we aren't prepared to say, I want things to be better. And sometimes recognising that being here is an opportunity to demonstrate unconditional love, an opportunity to choose to be of service, not to who we choose, but to everyone, in any circumstance, in whatever way we are asked to be of service. Over the next week, I know you'll be asked to be of service. I know that at some point you will be encouraged to speak, to maybe say, no, not in my name, or that's not appropriate. Please stop. That we can do our bit by bit, to free up that ability to resist the impulse to follow like sheep, to do something because we're told to do it, or to do something because we believe smoke and mirrors, to reject the lies that we are often told, and to become a spiritual person by being of service in saying those things. It's not easy to challenge what we are conditioned to do, what everybody has told us is the right thing to do. But for every person, that is what we have to determine for ourselves. What is the right action? What is the right thing to do? I know that's not easy. I know it's not easy because I struggle with it. And I think that's the reality. We have to acknowledge we struggle with these things. We see images, or we hear stories, or there's such a struggle to do the right thing. And to get involved in the right way, and to be of service to one another. And yet that's what we need to move towards. I know that there's lots of you have this restless feeling. What am I here to do? What's it all about? Why? And there's some anger with that. And there's some upset with that. And there's some frustration, sense of futility with that. Because when we can't find what we're here to do, when we think, well, what's the point? That's the point at which we have to say there is a point, even if I can't know it or see it or understand it right now. It's about getting past those feelings and being ready to have the kind word, the compassion, the positivity, the willingness to embrace others as being like me. Now, don't for 1 second believe that I am a perfect being doing that perfectly. Not a chance of it. I'm just as capable of going as anybody else. I'm just as capable of judging. I'm just as likely as everybody to go, oh, you know what, I don't like them, so I'm not helping them. Or, oof, don't care about them. That's being human. But this energy for this week is bringing it home to us that if we do that to others, it's what's done to us. A huge part of allowing wars to happen is because the war is over there. It's not over here. A huge part of letting aggression happen is because it's over there with them and I'm not getting involved and I'm over here. And you know, we let these things happen because it's happening to somebody else. We don't identify that it could be me. And then when it is, we're very surprised that nobody bothers, or nobody gets involved, or everybody looks the other way. You can't witness and then ignore. You can't witness and do nothing. Now, I can't get on a plane and go to the war zone because I wouldn't have any impact. But I can ask and send energy for the people who have influence in that arena to do the right thing, I can say I don't agree with what's being done. I can talk to people, lobby my MP, do whatever is necessary to make my voice heard, so that if my voice is heard along with millions of other voices, something will change. Bad things happen because we let them. Bad things happen when we don't get involved. Bad things happen because we're not ready to serve each other. It's a hard thing to say we chose this, but I believe we did. The angels, they say, why do you keep choosing it again and again and again? We've got thousands of years of history to prove that what we're choosing doesn't work. Thousands of years. And I'm not suggesting there's an overnight easy solution, because the solution is changing us, changing within, not expecting something outside of us to wave the magic wand, which is what we often do. It's their problem, they'll sort it, we don't have to do anything. You'd hope by now we would have stopped having to come here and have these kind of challenges, in order for us to understand that the most important thing in our lives is love. The most important thing we should value and cherish and praise every day is love. Love for ourselves, love for everyone else. And that's hard when we're not doing it, to start doing it. Over the next week, whatever you're doing, try to find the love in your life. Try to find the love for yourself within. We are all wonderful beings when we choose to be. We can all do something special for each other when we choose to do it. It doesn't matter if it's a listening ear, a smile, a let me help you with that, or a why don't you cry, let you come out first. That's a good one for car drivers. I'm terrible at learning that lesson, because all that happens is you don't get let out the next time you want to get let out. Sorry, wandering off there. Be the best you can be every single day. And those days that you don't feel at the best, own it, acknowledge it, speak it. Sometimes I say to people, you know what, can't handle that right now. Or, you know, I just can't do that right now. Or I'm not interested in that right now. Own it. We don't have to be Superwoman or Superman or super anything all of the time. And when we see the pain in others, when we understand that they are enduring challenges in their lives, we can send the love. We can ask in our hearts and minds for the love to be sent for them. The angels will answer all the time. All the time. We're learning to be spiritual people living in a human body. It's really what it's all about. Recognising it's all unconditional love. And if we keep on learning that, if we keep on trying our best, we will make a difference. Somewhere we will make a difference. And better still, that difference will be made for us, the energy will come back. I know that there is a heavier energy, particularly around Saturday, Sunday and Monday, because that's when many people are having holidays or taking time off. There is an energy of fear that is building up, a bit like a thunderstorm, getting ready for a lightning strike. Be as gentle with yourself as you can those 3 days. Indulge yourself in doing things that you enjoy. Relax and rest as much as you can. Tuesday and Wednesday we will get the lightning bolts. So be ready with plan B, plan C, plan D, whatever. Just be ready to embrace what happens in this time of change as a positive, not a negative. Because you love yourself enough to find the positive, to look for the silver lining, no matter how tiny it might be, and to bring forward within yourself the peace. If you are peaceful, if enough of us are peaceful, the world will change. And the experience of being here will change for everyone. And maybe we won't be in such a hurry to hurry back to the afterlife, because it won't be painful here anymore. That's an interesting thought. There's a lot of love around in this room. There's a lot of love around you. I hope you've enjoyed the video whenever you get to see it. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave feedback. You know, they love to hear from you. They love to know that the message is relevant for people. And have a lovely time over the coming week. As best you can, whatever you can, just enjoy. And remember, there is lots of love surrounding you from your family and spirit, from the angels, and all of the other wonderful energy beings who care about us. Thank you.